This Philadelphia rapper is now facing backlash from pastors across America, parents banning his music, and accusations of leading an entire generation into demonic worship, and he's streaming harder than ever. Skrilla's rise from Kensington trap houses to 60 million streams didn't just break the internet, it might have broken something spiritual. Behind the viral 6 to 7 trend that took over your FYP, Skrilla was documenting actual blood sacrifices on Instagram. Dead doves, chickens with their hearts ripped out, glasses filled with animal blood, all offered to Santeria spirits he claims are responsible for his success. And he ain't hiding it. He told us exactly what he was doing. The shocking truth behind what brought this man from a heroin arrest to dictionary. Com's word of the year is darker and more intentional than anyone imagined. We're about to reveal the timeline, the rituals, and why Christian leaders are calling this the most dangerous spiritual influence in modern hip-hop. Yo, what's good, fam? We about to dive deep into some real spiritual warfare mixed with street hustle that's been shaking up the entire music industry. This ain't your typical rap come-up story. This is ancient religion meets algorithmic virality, and the results got everybody, from Russell Brand to your kid's youth pastor, asking questions nobody's ready to answer. Now, before we get into this wild ride, let me keep it 100 with y'all. Social media been flooded with theories about Skrilla selling his soul, making pacts with demons, all that clickbait stuff. But yo, we about to separate the facts from the fiction, the real from the fake. Because what Skrilla actually did is documented, time-stamped, and way more specific than vague Illuminati conspiracy theories. June 3rd, 1999. That's when Jamil Edwards, who you know as Skrilla, was born into Kensington, Philadelphia. And if you don't know about Kensington, let me paint the picture. The largest open-air drug market on the East Coast. The epicenter of the opioid crisis. The place where documentarians literally film people overdosing in real time on the streets. Locals call it Zombieland, and Skrilla calls his childhood there the best time of my life. Now, hold up before y'all start thinking this is just another street rapper who escaped the hood. Skrilla's escape wasn't through basketball or traditional music industry connections. By age 12, he was selling heroin in those same streets. By high school, he was on house arrest for 2.5 years fighting multiple heroin-related charges. But here's where it gets real spicy. While most rappers on house arrest are building SoundCloud followings, Skrilla was getting initiated into Santeria and Palo Mayombe, two Afro-Caribbean religions that practice animal sacrifice for spiritual power. So check it. 2018. Skrilla drops his first significant release, Green Snake. Even back then, the themes were there. Reptilian imagery, references to darkness, spiritual undertones. But nobody was paying attention. He was just another Philly street rapper with a few hundred plays, recording in the same trap houses where he used to sell. Now in Kensington, we know survival takes more than physical hustle. The streets run on superstition as much as they run on product. Santeria ain't some exotic practice you read about in books out there. It's real, it's practiced, and it promises results now. Not heaven when you die, not blessings in the afterlife, power over your enemies today, protection from police today, success in your business, whether that's drugs or rap, today. Fast forward to 2022, 2023. Skrilla drops Cutthroat and Gemini Season, gets signed to Priority Records, and starts openly identifying as a Santo in interviews. That's a practitioner of Santeria, for those who don't know. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the rituals were intensifying. We're talking about a man who's telling podcasters he's putting bad spirits on people, referencing specific orishas, that's the Santeria deities, by name. But yo, this is where the story gets deeper than just some rapper claiming to be spiritual. Early 2024, Skrilla releases his debut album, Underworld. And the title ain't metaphorical. He's got tracks called Words from Osun and Words from Yamaja. Those are literal prayers to Santeria orishas set to drill beats. Osun is the goddess of love, fertility, rivers. Yemoja is the mother of all orishas, the ocean deity. These ain't random cultural references for aesthetic. These are the specific spirits Skrilla claims to work with. Now, this is where we got to address what separates Skrilla from every other rapper who plays with occult imagery. August 2024. A YouTube video drops titled, Skrilla on sacrificing goats and chicken for his religion. Most artists would deny it, call it symbolism, distance themselves. Not this man. Skrilla looks directly into the camera and says, quote, I sacrifice goats, chickens, mice like I do for certain though, like I'm not allowed to explain it. End quote. Let me break down for y'all what that means. He's not talking about metaphorical sacrifice, not artistic expression, not edgy marketing. He's telling you he kills animals and offers their blood to spirits for career advancement. And the not allowed to explain it part? That's because in Santeria and Palo Mayombe, certain rituals are protected. You can't reveal the details to outsiders. September 2024. While the streets are still processing that confession, a 15-second snippet of Doot Doot 67 hits TikTok. No context, no explanation, just Skrilla's hypnotic flow and those numbers, 67, 67, 67. The algorithm picks it up. But here's the crazy part. The song wasn't even officially released yet. Kids were chanting it without knowing where it came from or what it meant. November 2024, Skrilla drops Zombie Love Kensington Paradise with even more explicit Santeria references. But the real moment that changed everything? December 31st, 2024, New Year's Eve. While you were popping champagne and making resolutions, Skrilla was on Instagram documenting his New Year's ritual. The real kicker, though, the post shows Skrilla holding 2 doves and a chicken. Next slide. The birds are dead. A heart, an actual animal heart, on the floor next to a glass filled with blood. Posted publicly. No attempt to hide it. No caption explaining it away as art. This was his offering for 2025. His payment to the spirits for the year ahead. February 2025. Doot Doot 67 officially releases, and the internet loses its mind. Within weeks, 126,000 TikTok videos using the sound. Every demographic, every age group, suburban kids, club dancers, people who'd never heard a Skrilla song in their lives throwing up 6-7 like it's a universal language. Let me break down the velocity for y'all. 60 million streams across platforms in under 90 days. Kyle Pagan of Crossing Broad declares Skrilla the hottest rapper in the city of Philadelphia right now, a city that gave us Meek Mill, Lil Uzi Vert, P&B Rock. This man went from recording in Kensington trap houses to having Priority Records execs flying to Philadelphia in less than 6 months. For y'all who might not understand how crazy that timeline is, let me explain. Most artists grind for years, decades even, to get a fraction of that momentum. They build fan bases, do radio runs, get playlist placements, work with influencers. Skrilla skipped all that. No major radio play initially, no traditional marketing campaign, just rituals, dead animals, and an algorithm that couldn't stop pushing his sound. And here's what got pastors shook. In podcasts and interviews during this explosion, Skrilla didn't credit his team, didn't thank his label, didn't talk about manifestation or positive thinking. He credited the Orishas. He credited the sacrifices. He said explicitly, on record, that since committing fully to Santeria and Palo Mayombe, his career had taken off exactly as the spirits promised. Now this is where people started connecting the dots. Let's lay out the evidence methodically, because this ain't conspiracy theory. This is documented, time-stamped, and verified. 1. August 2024 video confession admitting to animal sacrifice for rituals he can't explain. 2. December 31st, 2024. Instagram post showing dead birds, a heart on the floor, and a glass of blood. 3. January through February 2025, career explosion begins, exactly when he said it would. 4. Multiple podcast appearances where he identifies as a santo, discusses practicing palo, and references putting bad spirits on people. 5. Album tracks that are literally prayers to specific Santeria deities, not random spiritual references. The real question is, what's the pattern here? Other artists have blown up fast. Lil Nas X went from nobody to phenomenon with Old Town Road. But Lil Nas X had a clear gimmick: country rap fusion, the yeehaw agenda, controversy that made marketing sense. Skrilla's rise follows a different pattern. No obvious musical innovation, no celebrity cosign that explains this velocity, no traditional media coverage until after the explosion. Just ritual, social media post, viral explosion. Now, this ain't just about whether you believe in Santeria or not. In Philadelphia, in Kensington specifically, people weren't surprised by Skrilla's success. They'd seen him for years. They knew about the spiritual work. Some claimed he'd been predicting his own rise in ways that seemed delusional at the time, until it happened exactly as he said. To them, this is proof the practice works. On the flip side, skeptics argue this is all correlation, not causation. Plenty of people practice Santeria without becoming famous. The TikTok algorithm is unpredictable and rewards specific sonic patterns that doot might have accidentally hit. This could just be clever marketing using shock value to generate buzz. But here's where the culture clash became unavoidable. Pastor Nathan Bentley of Life Point Church in Arizona started sounding the alarm. And Bentley wasn't just some random preacher reacting to headlines. He did his research. He quoted Skrilla directly, explained the Santeria practices in detail, connected the timeline, his message to parents. What seems innocent or playful on the surface is often a doorway for darkness. Then Russell Brand weighed in, then dozens of other Christian influencers. Then Charisma magazine ran pieces about hidden agendas steeped in deception and the occult. Youth pastors across America found themselves explaining Afro-Caribbean religious practices to confused parents whose kids were throwing up hand signs they didn't understand. The hip-hop community? Divided. Some Philadelphia rappers quietly respected the hustle. Spiritual or not, Skrilla had won. Others felt some type of way about it. How do you compete with someone who's literally sacrificing animals to spirits? How do you outwork someone who's invoking deities older than the music industry itself? Even Santeria practitioners were divided. Some felt Skrilla was bringing unwanted attention to closed practices. See, Santeria isn't meant to be Instagram content. The rituals are supposed to be private, sacred, protected. The 1993 Supreme Court case that protects ritual animal sacrifice under the First Amendment, that was fought specifically because practitioners wanted to worship in peace, not because they wanted to broadcast it for clout. As of February 2026, Skrilla faces no legal consequences for the animal sacrifices. That Supreme Court ruling protects him. His old heroin charges are resolved. He's free, he's rich, and he's got the entire music industry's attention. But the real questions remain. Will this success last, or do these spirits require continued payment? What happens when the next sacrifice is due? How many kids are now curious about Santeria because of TikTok? At the end of the day, Skrilla's situation isn't just about whether Santeria works or whether spiritual practices can influence career success. It's about what happens when ancient religious traditions collide with algorithmic virality. It's about authenticity in an era where attention is currency. It's about a generation spiritually hungry but disconnected from traditional religion, finding meaning in places their parents never imagined. This connects to hip-hop's long flirtation with the occult, from Jay-Z's alleged Illuminati ties to Tyler, the creator's devil imagery, to UI Side Boy, US Side Boy, US Side Boy's dark aesthetics. But those were always wink-wink aesthetic choices. Skrilla is different. He's not playing with imagery. He's practicing a religion, documenting it, and attributing his success to it directly. And whether you believe in it or not, you can't deny the results. The real question is, what does this blueprint look like moving forward? How many other artists are watching this right now, Googling Santeria near me? How many executives are thinking, if we can bottle this? But you can't bottle it. That's the point. Skrilla's success is inseparable from his belief. Take away the sacrifices, and you take away the conviction that translates through every bar. Is Skrilla a cautionary tale or a blueprint? Is he warning us about the price of fame or showing us a new path to it? And either way, does it matter if it worked? What are your thoughts on Skrilla's situation and the intersection of spirituality and success in hip-hop? Are we witnessing genuine spiritual practice manifesting results, or the greatest shock marketing strategy of 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments and click on the content on screen for more deep dives into the stories the industry doesn't want you to understand. Stay dangerous. Stay awake. Stay